There's a quiet voice that speaks within us all, a gentle whisper that knows the truth about your relationship with abundance. Perhaps you've heard it in those moments of stillness when the world grows quiet and your heart beats with possibility. I invite you now to pause just for a moment and listen to that voice as we embark on a sacred journey together. A journey toward the abundance that has been waiting for you since before time began. What if I told you that the universe holds a sacred blueprint for your prosperity? Not a temporary fix or a fleeting moment of relief, but a profound realignment with the natural flow of abundance that has always been your birthright. This isn't about overnight wealth or magical thinking, it's about something far more powerful, far more transformative. You see, for centuries, across countless traditions and spiritual practices, there has been a profound understanding that our material reality is deeply intertwined with our spiritual connection. The ancient wisdom keepers knew what modern quantum physics is only beginning to understand, that energy flows where attention goes, and that our deepest beliefs create the framework for what we experience in our physical world. Today, you've been guided here for a reason. Perhaps you've tried everything, worked harder, planned smarter, followed all the conventional advice, and yet something remains blocked in your financial life. Maybe you've experienced glimpses of abundance only to watch it slip away. Or perhaps you're simply ready to elevate your relationship with prosperity to align with your spiritual growth. Whatever brought you here, know this. What we're about to explore together isn't just another strategy or technique. It's a sacred conversation between your soul and the infinite source of all abundance. It's a reconnection with the divine flow that has always been moving through your life. Even when you couldn't see it, I've witnessed this transformation in the lives of countless individuals. People who once struggled with scarcity consciousness, who felt unworthy of abundance, who carried ancestral patterns of lack, and who now live in alignment with the natural flow of prosperity. Not because they discovered some secret formula, but because they allowed themselves to receive what was always theirs to claim. This sacred prayer we'll share today opens channels that may have been closed for years, perhaps even generations. It addresses not just your conscious mind, but speaks directly to your soul, to your energetic blueprint, to the very essence of who you are as a divine being having a human experience. As we prepare to enter this sacred space together, I invite you to release any skepticism, not because I ask for blind faith, but because transformation begins when we open ourselves to possibility. The words we'll share carry an energetic frequency that transcends language. They work on levels beyond what the mind can comprehend. Take a deep breath now, feel your shoulders relax. Allow your heart to open just a little more. In this moment, you stand at the threshold of a new relationship with abundance, one that honors your spiritual journey while creating tangible shifts in your material world. The prayer we're about to experience together has been crafted to align with universal principles that govern abundance. It speaks to the seen and unseen forces that influence your financial reality. And most importantly, it awakens within you the divine birthright of prosperity that has always been yours. Are you ready to step into this sacred space? Are you willing to open yourself to a new possibility? That abundance is not something you chase, but something you allow? If so, then let's begin this journey together as we unlock the divine flow of prosperity that has been waiting for you all along. Have you ever found yourself staring at your bank account, a knot forming in your stomach as you calculate and recalculate, hoping somehow the numbers might change? That quiet moment when it's just you and the truth of your financial situation, no masks, no pretending, just the raw reality of not having enough. Or perhaps you know that feeling of lying awake at night, your mind racing with financial worries while the rest of the world sleeps. Bills that keep arriving with relentless regularity. Opportunities you've had to decline because the resources simply weren't there. Dreams you've had to postpone again and again until they've begun to feel more like fantasies than possibilities. I see you. I understand that burden, the weight of financial struggle that's so much more than just numbers on a page. It's the heaviness in your chest when a child asks for something you can't provide. It's the shame that washes over you when you have to say no, yet again, to something that matters. It's the exhaustion of constantly working harder, trying to outrun a scarcity that somehow always seems to catch up. For many of us, money isn't just about currency. It's become entangled with our sense of worth, our feelings of security, even our identity. When financial struggles persist, we begin to question ourselves at the deepest levels. What am I doing wrong? Why does abundance seem to flow so easily to others but not to me? Am I somehow unworthy of prosperity? And the world around us often deepens these wounds. We live in a culture that equates financial success with personal value, that celebrates the wealthy while quietly suggesting that those who struggle must be lacking in some fundamental way. These messages seep into our consciousness, reinforcing the painful belief that our financial circumstances reflect our worth. The spiritual dimension of this struggle can be even more complex. Perhaps you've wondered, if divine abundance is truly available to all, why does it seem to bypass me? Have I been forgotten? Am I being punished? Is there a lesson I haven't yet learned? These questions can create a profound disconnection from the very source of abundance we most need to access. For some of you, financial struggle isn't new. It's a familiar companion that has walked alongside your family for generations. You inherited not just financial circumstances, but an entire belief system about money, scarcity, and what you're allowed to receive. These ancestral patterns run deep, operating beneath conscious awareness, silently directing your relationship with abundance. Others among you may have experienced prosperity in the past, only to watch it dissolve, leaving you with the painful question of whether abundance was ever truly yours to claim. This cycle of gain and loss can create a deeper wound than constant lack, the knowledge of what's possible paired with the inability to sustain it. And let's acknowledge the exhaustion of it all. The constant vigilance required to manage limited resources, the creativity needed to stretch every dollar, the calculations that occupy so much mental and emotional space, leaving little energy for joy, for presence, for the spiritual connection that nourishes your soul. What makes this struggle even more isolating is how rarely we speak of it honestly. Financial challenges often carry a silence around them. We smile and pretend all is well while internally grappling with fears we can scarcely name. This silence compounds our pain, leaving us to face our financial wounds alone. But what if these struggles aren't evidence of your unworthiness? What if they don't reflect a spiritual failing or personal inadequacy? What if they are instead invitations, sacred calls to transform not just your financial reality, but your entire relationship with abundance at the soul level? What if the very persistence of these challenges points to something profound waiting to be healed, not just in your bank account, but in your spiritual understanding of prosperity? What if your financial history, however painful, has been preparing you for a deeper connection with the divine flow of abundance? I'm here to tell you that your struggles with money aren't a reflection of your worth. They don't define your future, and they certainly don't represent the spiritual truth of who you are and what you're meant to receive. The very fact that you're here, that you've been drawn to this prayer, suggests your soul is ready for a profound shift in your relationship with abundance. Today, we stand together at a threshold. Behind us lie the old stories, the limiting beliefs, the painful experiences with lack. Ahead lies a new possibility, a reconnection with the sacred flow of prosperity that has always been your divine birthright. And the bridge between these worlds, a prayer that speaks not just to the divine outside of you, but to the divine essence within you that already knows the truth about abundance. In the face of these financial struggles that weigh so heavily on your heart, I want to share with you a profound truth that has transformed countless lives throughout history. This truth is both ancient and eternally new. Prayer is not merely a spiritual ritual, it is a powerful force that realigns your entire being with the natural flow of abundance. When I speak of prayer, I'm not referring to a mechanical recitation of words or a desperate plea born from lack. I'm speaking of a sacred communion, a direct channel between your consciousness and the infinite source of all prosperity. Prayer, in its purest form, is the language through which we communicate with the divine abundance that permeates all existence. As it is written in ancient wisdom, "Ask, and it shall be given to you. Seek, and you shall find. Knock, and the door shall be opened unto you." These words speak to a universal principle that transcends any single religious tradition. The principle that our sincere requests activate forces beyond our comprehension, opening pathways that were previously invisible to us. What makes prayer particularly powerful when addressing financial challenges is that it works simultaneously on multiple levels of your being. On the spiritual level, it reconnects you with the infinite source from which all abundance flows. On the emotional level, it dissolves the fear and unworthiness that block your receptivity. On the mental level, it reprograms limiting beliefs that have restricted your prosperity. And on the energetic level, it literally shifts your vibrational frequency to one that resonates with abundance rather than scarcity. The prayer we're about to experience together has been crafted with this holistic understanding. It isn't simply about asking for money, it's about realigning your entire relationship with abundance. It addresses the root causes of financial struggle, the ancestral patterns, the spiritual disconnection, the wounds around worthiness, and the energetic blocks that have disrupted your natural state of prosperity. Many approach prayer with doubt, wondering if their words truly reach beyond the ceiling. But the power of prayer doesn't depend on your perfect faith or spiritual credentials. It works because it aligns you with truth, the truth that abundance is the natural state of the universe, and therefore your natural state as well. Just as a plant naturally grows toward sunlight, your being naturally moves toward prosperity when the barriers are removed. What makes this particular prayer so transformative is that it doesn't just focus on the external circumstances you wish to change. It works primarily on your inner landscape, the true source of lasting transformation. As you speak these words aloud, they will begin to dissolve the internal obstacles that have kept you separated from the abundance that is already yours by divine right. Remember, this is not about convincing a reluctant universe to grant you a favor. It's about removing the barriers that have kept you from experiencing what has always been available. It's about coming into alignment with the prosperity that is your spiritual inheritance. The universe is not withholding abundance from you. It is waiting for you to remove the blocks that have prevented you from receiving it. As we prepare to enter this sacred prayer space together, I invite you to approach it not as a magical formula, but as a profound act of realignment. These words will serve as a key, unlocking doors within your consciousness that have remained closed, perhaps for years, perhaps for generations. The transformation we're inviting may not always look exactly as you imagine. True abundance often arrives in unexpected forms and through surprising channels. But when you sincerely engage with this prayer, with your whole heart and being, you set in motion forces of prosperity that will find their way to you through paths you cannot yet see. Are you ready to take this step? Are you ready to use the key of prayer to unlock the flow of abundance that has always been yours by divine right? If so, then let us prepare our hearts and minds for this sacred communion with the infinite source of all prosperity. Before we enter the heart of this prayer together, I invite you to take a moment to prepare yourself, not just mentally, but with your entire being. What we're about to do is more than recite words. It's a sacred act of alignment that deserves your full presence. Find a quiet space right now if you can, a place where you won't be disturbed for these next few minutes. If you're driving or in a public place, that's perfectly fine too. Simply bring your awareness inward, creating an internal sanctuary where this prayer can resonate deeply. Now take a deep breath in through your nose, hold it for a moment, and release it slowly through your mouth. Feel your shoulders relaxing, your jaw softening. Take another breath, even deeper this time, allowing it to travel all the way down to your center. With each exhale, release any tension, any doubt, any resistance to receiving the abundance that is rightfully yours. As we prepare to pray together, I invite you to place one hand over your heart. This simple gesture connects you physically to your heart center, the place where your deepest truths reside. Your other hand can rest comfortably in your lap, palm facing upward in the universal gesture of receptivity. In this moment, I want you to think of one specific financial burden that weighs most heavily on your mind right now. It might be a bill that needs to be paid, a debt that feels overwhelming, or simply the constant strain of not having enough. Acknowledge this burden without judgment, see it clearly, feel its weight, and understand that you're about to release it into hands far more capable than your own. Now, as a symbol of your commitment to this process of transformation, I invite you to say these words aloud if you can, or silently within your heart. I am ready to release my financial burdens. I am open to receiving divine abundance in all its forms. This simple declaration is your first step, a powerful statement of intent that prepares the way for everything that follows. It's your soul's commitment to this journey of transformation. If you're watching or listening to this in a place where you can write, I encourage you to have a piece of paper ready. After our prayer, you'll be guided to write down a single sentence, a declaration of the abundance you're claiming, that will serve as an anchor for the transformation we're initiating today. With these preparations complete, we're ready to enter the heart of our prayer together. Remember, you're not doing this alone. We stand together in this sacred moment, united in our intention to reconnect with the divine flow of prosperity that is our spiritual birthright. Take one final deep breath as we prepare to cross the threshold into this powerful space of transformation. Divine source of all abundance, I come before you, now with an open heart and a spirit ready to receive. I acknowledge your infinite presence, the energy that flows through all creation, the wellspring from which all prosperity emerges. In this sacred moment, I release my grip on limitation and open myself to your boundless supply. I have carried the weight of financial worry for too long. I have lived in the shadow of scarcity, believing that there is not enough for me, that abundance belongs to others but somehow passes me by. Today, I lay these beliefs at your feet. I surrender these burdens that were never mine to carry. You see me in my fullness, beyond my bank account, beyond my debts, beyond my financial history. You know the truth of who I am, a divine being, created in abundance, designed to thrive, meant to experience prosperity in all its forms. This is the truth I reclaim today. Divine presence, illuminate the shadows where scarcity has taken root in my consciousness. Shine your light on every belief that has limited my capacity to receive. Show me where I have accepted less than my divine birthright. Give me the courage to release these old stories and step into a new narrative of abundance. I release the belief that I must struggle to survive. I release the fear that there will never be enough. I release the doubt in my worthiness to receive. I release the ancestral patterns of lack that have shaped my relationship with money. I release the wounds from my past that taught me to expect scarcity. With each breath, I feel these limitations dissolving, making space for new possibilities, new pathways, new channels through which your abundance can flow into my life. Divine Source, I invite your prosperity to flow through me now. Like a river finding its natural course, let abundance move through every aspect of my being, my mind, my emotions, my physical reality, my spiritual understanding. Where there have been blockages, create openings. Where there has been resistance, create receptivity. Where there has been fear, create faith. I am ready to receive the financial blessings that you are constantly extending. I am ready to accept the prosperity that is my divine inheritance. I am ready to embody the abundance that is my true nature. Can you feel it? Can you sense the shift already beginning within you? The subtle but profound realignment that's occurring as these words penetrate the deepest levels of your consciousness? This is the power of prayer, not as a distant petition, but as an active force for transformation. Divine Presence, show me the unique ways in which abundance is meant to flow through my life. Open my eyes to opportunities I've been unable to see. Open my mind to creative solutions that have remained hidden. Open my heart to unexpected blessings that come in forms I might not have recognized before. I trust that my financial needs are being met in this very moment. I trust that resources are being mobilized on my behalf. I trust that unseen forces are conspiring to bring prosperity into my experience. The money I need is finding its way to me now. The resources I require are being gathered for me now. The abundance I have sought is rushing toward me now. The financial breakthrough I have prayed for is manifesting now. With each declaration, feel the truth of these words anchoring in your body, in your energy field, in your consciousness. Feel the weight of financial worry beginning to lift from your shoulders. Feel the constriction around your heart beginning to release its grip. Divine Source, I recognize that true abundance is not just about money, it's about experiencing your presence as the infinite supply of all good things. As I open to financial prosperity, I also open to abundance in all its forms: abundant love, abundant health, abundant joy, abundant peace, abundant creativity, abundant connection. I see now that my financial challenges have not been punishments or signs of my unworthiness. They have been invitations to deeper trust, to greater surrender, to more complete alignment with your divine provision. In this light, I thank you for every financial struggle that has led me to this moment of transformation. Divine Presence, I ask now for tangible manifestations of your abundance in my material world. With humble confidence, I ask for the financial resources to meet my immediate needs. I ask for the resolution of debts that have burdened my spirit. I ask for the income streams that will sustain me in comfort and security. I ask for the prosperity that will allow me to share generously with others. I am not asking for these things from a place of lack or desperation. I am claiming them as the divine expression of your abundance in my life. I am accepting them as the natural fulfillment of your promise of prosperity. Can you feel the energetic shift that's occurring within you right now? The subtle but unmistakable sense that something has changed in your relationship with abundance? This is the power of aligning with truth, the truth that prosperity is your natural state, your spiritual inheritance, your divine right. Divine Source, I receive your abundance with gratitude. I welcome your prosperity with an open heart. I embrace your provision with unwavering faith. Where I once saw limitation, I now see infinite possibility. Where I once felt scarcity, I now feel abundant supply. Where I once experienced lack, I now experience overflow. Where I once feared there wasn't enough, I now trust there is more than enough. As these new beliefs take root in my consciousness, I watch with wonder as my external reality begins to reorganize itself in alignment with this inner transformation. Financial doors that were closed are opening. Resources that were distant are drawing near. Prosperity that seemed impossible is becoming inevitable. Divine Presence, I recognize that this prayer is not a one-time event, but the beginning of a new relationship with abundance. Each day, I will nurture the seeds of prosperity that we have planted together in this sacred moment. I will water them with gratitude, tend them with faith, and protect them from the weeds of doubt. I trust the perfect timing of my financial breakthrough. I trust the divine orchestration of abundant supply. I trust the unseen hands that are working on my behalf even now. The transformation has already begun. The channel of prosperity has been opened. The flow of abundance has been established. Divine Source, I thank you for hearing this prayer, for answering this prayer, for becoming this prayer within me. And so it is. In this powerful moment following our prayer, I want you to remain in that sacred space we've created together. That space of receptivity, of alignment, of profound connection with divine abundance. The energy we've generated through our prayer continues to ripple outward, creating shifts in the spiritual, emotional, and physical dimensions of your life. Right now, something miraculous is happening within you. The very cells of your body are reorganizing to vibrate at the frequency of abundance rather than scarcity. The neural pathways in your brain are being rewired, creating new thought patterns aligned with prosperity instead of lack. Your energy field is expanding, becoming a powerful magnet for the financial blessings that are your divine birthright. I want you to see yourself walking through your life with a new relationship to money. Visualize yourself opening your mail to find unexpected checks, receiving notifications of surprising deposits, encountering opportunities that seem to have been created specifically for you. See yourself paying bills with ease and gratitude, watching your debts diminish and eventually disappear, experiencing the profound peace that comes with financial security. This isn't fantasy, it's a preview of the reality that is already in motion for you. The seeds we've planted through our prayer are even now sending roots deep into the soil of possibility, reaching toward the light of manifestation. I believe with absolute certainty that your financial breakthrough is unfolding right now. Not someday in a distant future, but in this present moment, set in motion by your willingness to align with the truth of divine abundance. Where there have been financial blockages in your life, channels are now opening. Where there has been restriction, there is now expansion. Where there has been delay, there is now divine timing. Where there has been not enough, there is now more than enough. Feel the truth of these statements resonating within you. They are not merely positive affirmations, they are declarations of the spiritual reality that is already yours, waiting only for your recognition and acceptance. The financial struggles you've experienced have not defined you, and they certainly do not determine your future. They have been temporary conditions, not permanent realities. Just as winter always yields to spring, your season of financial challenge is giving way to a season of unprecedented prosperity. I see you stepping into a new financial identity, one based not on past struggles, but on your true nature as a being created for abundance. I see you making decisions from a place of sufficiency rather than scarcity. I see you engaging with money as a spiritual ally rather than a source of stress. I see you experiencing the freedom that comes when financial worry no longer consumes your mental and emotional energy. This transformation isn't dependent on external circumstances aligning perfectly. It doesn't require the economy to change, your employer to suddenly value you differently, or luck to finally turn in your favor. It arises from the shift that has already begun within you, a profound realignment with the truth of who you are and what you're meant to receive. Your part now is to nurture this shift, to protect it from doubt, to allow it to flourish through your continued belief. When old thoughts of scarcity arise, and they will, recognize them as merely echoes of a consciousness you're leaving behind. When financial challenges present themselves, and they may, approach them from this new place of alignment with abundance. I stand with absolute conviction in the knowledge that the financial resources you need are finding their way to you now. The exact amount through the perfect channels in divine timing. This isn't wishful thinking, it's spiritual law. When you align with abundance at the soul level, as you have done through our prayer, your external reality must eventually reorganize to reflect this inner truth. Can you feel it? The subtle yet unmistakable sense that something has shifted within you? The growing certainty that your relationship with money will never again be defined by limitation? The quiet confidence that comes from reconnecting with your divine inheritance of prosperity? This feeling isn't emotion, it's recognition. Your soul recognizing the truth that was always there beneath the temporary appearance of lack. The transformation we've initiated today isn't just about improving your financial circumstances, though that will surely occur. It's about restoring your relationship with the abundant nature of the universe itself. It's about remembering that you live in a reality of infinite supply, where limitation exists only in the mind, never in divine truth. Hold fast to this awareness in the days to come. Let it inform your thoughts, your feelings, your expectations, your actions. You have planted powerful seeds today, seeds of prosperity that will continue to grow and bear fruit in ways you cannot yet imagine. As we come to the close of our time together, I want you to take a moment to notice how differently you feel now compared to when we began. Perhaps there's a lightness in your chest where financial heaviness once resided. Perhaps there's a quiet confidence where doubt used to linger. Perhaps there's a sense of possibility where limitation once seemed permanent. These subtle shifts are the first, tangible signs of the transformation that's now unfolding in your life. The prayer we've shared today isn't a one-time event, but the beginning of a new journey, a journey back to your natural state of abundance. Like a seed that has been planted in fertile soil, the prosperity consciousness we've awakened requires your continued attention to fully blossom. I invite you now to take the piece of paper I mentioned earlier and write down this simple declaration. Divine abundance flows to me and through me with ease and grace. Place this where you'll see it daily, on your mirror, by your bedside, or perhaps in your wallet next to the very cards and bills that once triggered feelings of scarcity. Let these words remind you of the truth we've established today. Each time you notice yourself slipping back into old patterns of financial worry, each time scarcity thoughts attempt to reclaim territory in your consciousness, gently return to the energy of our prayer. Take a deep breath, place your hand over your heart, and silently affirm, I am aligned with divine abundance. I trust the process of prosperity that is unfolding in my life right now. Remember that you're not alone on this journey. The same divine presence that inspired our prayer today continues to walk beside you, guiding your steps toward greater prosperity, opening doors you cannot yet see, creating pathways to abundance that will reveal themselves in divine timing. If our time together has touched something deep within you, I invite you to share this message with someone else who might be struggling with financial challenges. Not by pressuring or preaching, but simply by saying, This helped me shift my relationship with abundance. Perhaps it might speak to you too. In this way, you become a channel for prosperity consciousness to flow not just to you, but through you to others. I see you stepping into a future where financial stress no longer dominates your thoughts, where abundance flows naturally into your experience, where prosperity becomes not just a hope, but your lived reality. This future isn't distant or uncertain, it's already unfolding from the seeds we've planted today. Thank you for joining me in this sacred space, for having the courage to release old patterns and embrace new possibilities. May the divine abundance that is your birthright flow to you in ever-increasing measure, blessing not only your life, but all those whose lives you touch. Until we meet again, walk in the certainty that prosperity is your natural state, your divine inheritance, your spiritual truth. And so it is.